Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Come on in. Welcome to day 4 of the abundance game. Grab your seat, grab your notepads, something to write with, something to drink. Come on in. And when you get here, hey, I could write a comment. Huh, I didn't even see that before. When you come in, go ahead and chime in. Let me know you're here. I love this. So for those of you who don't know, I used to be an English teacher and I love Shakespeare. And I love good morrow, the term good morrow, sir, good morrow, Friar Lawrence, good morrow. Because it's just like good day. So you're not limiting yourself to just the morning or the afternoon. Good morrow. It's like good the next day. I dig it. Come on in. Let me know you're here. Chime in. Say hello. Today, we're going to have time for some coaching. So I hope you bring your coaching questions for me. Specifically, we're going to be really focusing on continuing the conversation about being a clear channel. And so all of us have our blockages and our things that get in the way. And so today is going to be a really good day for you to get some coaching and some healing on those blockages that you may have experienced in the past or the present. And this is something that we don't want to continue to bring into the future, right? We want to be clear channels. So I'll let you know when it's time to chime in with your questions about that. Oh, there's Kristen. Good morning, Kristen. Good morning, Dana. Good morning, Juliet. Good morrow. Good day, Eileen. I'm so glad y'all are here for day 4 of the abundance game. So before we dive in to our topic, I'd really love to check in with you and see how you did with your homework assignments. Did you find yourself in opportunities where giving was kind of the obvious call? What was that like? And did you take the Claire quiz? And which Claire are you? So as you type in your comments and your sharing, I'm going to give you an update on what happened with me yesterday. So you know that my son has just been so much on my mind and in my heart. And I just have this uncanny way of finding him, just bumping into him, like literally beelining to wherever he is. And again, it happened yesterday. So it keeps happening, but every time it happens, I can't help but get giddy inside because it's like, oh, you guys are just so good at your jobs and guiding me and showing me where to go. So I'm not thinking, I'm just doing. So yesterday, I just pulled my car into this parking spot under a tree. It looked like a good spot. And then there's like the old town city hall building that's there, and then there's the library in the park. So it's like that civic area that every town has. And I just pulled in there, and I just started walking down this path. And then I turned the corner of this path, and out of the corner of my eye, I always see the top of my son's head. So we have the same color hair, right? And so it's like, oh my gosh, is that him? And so he was actually on the back porch of the city hall on the steps, and he had his stuff out, and he was reading, and in his mental state right now, he just studies a lot. He studies languages and stuff, very very voraciously. And so I asked him, say, hey, have you eaten? Would you like some food? And then he said, sure. He wanted a couple of burritos. And then when I was leaving the place, this other young man was there, and I have seen him with my son. They're probably about the same age. And I asked him, his name is Hunter. Hunter, I'm going to run to the store to get Wyatt something to eat. Would you like something? And he said, I would love some Oreos and milk. Well, I just about turned into a puddle of mush at that point because it's like, you poor little broken boys, they just need their moms. I was just, but at the same time, I'm like, you got your cookies. So I went to the store and I bought them groceries and I got them sandwiches and things like that because you can't live on Oreos alone. And I delivered their food and I just let them be, so they can eat and just do their thing. They weren't together, they were in separate places, but in close proximity. And, it was just opportunity after opportunity to give. So I gave to two little homeless young men yesterday. And then in the grocery store, too, it was interesting. There's a new checkout clerk, and she's just super cool and bubbly and friendly. And this is the second time I've seen her, and I go, wow, you're just a pro at this. You have the greatest customer service skills. So I paid her a compliment. And then she just lit up and she told me, yeah, this is so fun. I love this job. I love being here. I haven't worked in years because I have seizures and all this other stuff. And so she started to tell me a little bit about her backstory. And, I was able to hear her and validate her and listen to her and just you know, be someone that notices who she is and appreciates her work and all of that. So that's what I'm talking about, as far as the giving stuff. They can be big things, little things, but man, they all matter. You know what they say, the small things matter the most. So, yeah, where did you guys give? What happened with your day yesterday? Are you manifesting? Are you seeing the fruits of your efforts? I would love for you to chime in and let me know. Okay, Eileen. She shares, could not get into quiz last night or today, thinking I've taken it in the past and I feel I know things. Reached out to a friend who it turns out is going through some pretty big sent gift. Had another friend ask for some assistance. And funny when you put yourself in service mode, man, the universe uses you. That I am able to provide, opportunities abound. Absolutely. So yeah, I wonder about that quiz. Sometimes it gets glitchy and it doesn't load. So I just looked at it on my phone. That's how I test it, and it's working at least on this device. And then I did not finish the receptivity quiz, so I will get that done as soon as I possibly can. So Eileen says she feels and knows. So that's clairsentience and claircognizance. Yes, you got them. Yeah. We can just call it knowing and feeling. That's good. We're not French, right? We can call it whatever we want. But those are the popular terms that the industry uses. So, yeah. Anybody else have some shares or some manifestations that's happened? All right. Kristen chimes in. My main giving is still my therapy services at the moment. Yep. I'll be out and about more today, and I'm sure I'll find opportunity to give something monetary away. I am clairvoyant or claircognizant and looking forward to learning more about it. I'm really sorry I was not able to make it the last course on it, but I'll do my best to present for the next one. Be present for the next one. Yeah, that's not even going to happen until October. So you've got plenty of time. Yeah. The quiz showed, so Dana got into the quiz that she was claircognizant. So you just know stuff. Just like how I can find my son. I'm not searching. I just beeline right to him. It's just like, you know, in the psychic world, I mean, we know it's happening. I can't explain it, but it just is happening, and I get validation of it every single day, and it still just makes me giggle. It's like, oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. So with the, the mindset of giving really opens up your channel to receiving. Obviously, it's the counter product of that. So you can expect to see manifestations come in more readily. So, has anybody seen any finances pop into their bank accounts or any kind of surprises like that? I know that I sold a couple of my T-shirts online, and I get, so I was surprised to see that because I very rarely promote them or anything, and so that's one. I'm trying to think of some other ones because was thinking, oh, there's one, and there's one, and there's one, and now, of course, I can't remember. Um, but yeah, so any windfalls, any surprise bonus cash surprises come your way, pop those in the chat. Let's talk about your victories. Let's talk about your wins. Um, and before we dive into the other stuff that's going to be on the opposite side of that coin, the blockages. So, in order to continue on this path together, um, and continue on the manifesting. Oh, there's more. Debbie. Okay, I didn't see there's more. There's more. Debbie, good morning. She says, I asked for direction on giving, and right then my cousin posted that she would like some donations for a particular charity. Of course. I love it. And Kristen says, yesterday at the market, I manifested a lemon bar for free because the cashier could not find out how to charge for it, so she gifted it instead. I love it. I gave her a tip in gratitude. I also manifested this little stone turtle from one of my clients who is a child. It was really sweet. Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, I got free celery the other day for the same reason, that they couldn't scan the price. Oh yeah, that was one that I wanted to share too. Dana says, my giving yesterday was providing some counseling to two separate people who are going through a difficult time. Aha! You were a little reluctant to want to do that, and then it showed up anyway, right? And good for you. Good for you. I love it. Yes, so we're going to be called. We're always going to be called to help, and we're going to be put in these situations, in these places where we're able to, because that's one of my mantras that I say to the universe. I say, use me. Go ahead, use me. I'm up for it. Just whatever needs to happen, use me. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm good to go. And so like I said, you don't have to look for opportunities. Those opportunities will find you. All right. So in keeping with this conversation about being clear channel, we're going to dig a little deeper in that today. And we are going to talk about the things that block us, and then you'll have an opportunity to maybe ask about blockages that you have specifically, and we can do some healing work and some clearing work and coaching around any blockages that you feel that you have been struggling with, or maybe continue to find yourself in that situation, right? And then we're going to talk about the magic bullets, basically, that open our channels back up. And then finally, we're going to take another little quiz, but this one isn't mine. It's from my business coach. And so if you've listened to my Soulcast on the 5 levels of gratitude, you know what I'm talking about, but I'll save that for later. But it's so worth repeating, so I'm going to repeat that one again. It's interesting because gratitude really is the key, one of the big keys to receptivity, right? When you're in a state of gratitude, there's no resistance. And so I guess if you wanted to look at this and break it down a little bit, whenever you feel resistance, any kind of resistance, you know that you're blocking and you're clogging your pipes, so to speak. And so we want to stay resistance free as much as possible, right? Things are going to trigger us. Obviously, we're human, and we are going to experience resistance here and there. But we're going to also talk about tools today that can help you release that resistance more quickly and more gracefully and easily, so that we don't have to carry it around. So, one of the habits we do as humans, and a lot of empaths, is, when we absorb stuff, we carry it around, and then we ruminate in it, and we tell the story of that negative thing over and over, and we're just recreating and re-traumatizing ourselves over and over and over. So one of the practices for the empath is to stop doing that and to tell a different story, so we can allow ourselves to heal. Just because we're empathic and spongy and absorbent doesn't mean that we have to hold on to everything. We can squeeze our sponge out and freshen it up and start over, reboot. And one of the best reboots in our human experience is sleep. Yay! We all get to sleep and reboot, start over. So that's a gift. All right. Dana says, I have not received any manifestations in my finances yet, but my mental clarity is at a level that it has never been before. That's awesome, Dana. Well, then you can just expect it. Just stay in that state of expectancy because it's on its way. It's actually here. You just haven't seen it yet. So that's good news. So that's what happens when we're manifesting. We clean it up. We clear it up. We become aware, self-aware. We do the work, and the manifestations just come easier and easier and easier, right? So the efforting isn't focus on the manifestation and keep asking for it. The focus is on ask for it and then do your work, do your inner work, right? And prepare yourself for it. Yes. So I'm sitting here, I can see myself, and I see that I have this habit of bouncing on my Gaiam ball, and I'm trying not to. Yesterday I stood, but so I just have this thing that I just want to bounce on my ball. It's my inner child wanting to play. So let's talk about, unless you have any other comments and questions, we're good for now. All right, let's talk about the things that block us on a pretty regular basis, the common human blockages. I think one of the worst ones, and I kind of touched on a little bit, is having resentments, just having resentments, being pissed off at people, holding those grudges and, those judgments that we have towards people. That just clogs our pipes like nothing else. So, of course, on occasion, we're going to feel resistance. We're going to have resentments. They're going to bubble up. But what we can do to help ourselves and to just clear up the energy around us so that we can, be at a higher vibration, excuse me, is to have a short memory and to forgive it. I know, easier said than done, right? So how do we go about forgiving or letting things go? Everybody's going to have their own ways. I would love for you to chime in if you have a way that you can easily forgive somebody's offense, right? Or is that something that you struggle with? Is that something that you find to be pretty challenging? So I have learned to just, I'm big on the mantras, and a lot of times I'll say, well, that's just none of my business. Like when people have different opinions than mine, they're free to have their own opinion. It's none of my business. So one of my mantras really is to stay in my own lane and to mind my own business. Another one is, I learned this one when I was, just a new mom. And so my childhood was really, really bumpy and funky. And I was, my father was a raging alcoholic and my mom was a drug addict, but she didn't live in the house. So there was just chaos everywhere all the time. And when I became a young mom, I could have just been the same, really resentful. But what I did was I took note of what not to do. Didn't know what to do, but I figured I'd be guided on that. So I trusted that process and that worked out. But then as I really wanted a better quality of life for myself, I learned early on that I had to forgive them and that I had to let go of that stuff. And I just didn't want to carry my parents around in my backpack anymore. I just didn't want to carry that energy anymore. So I actually saw a therapist, and my therapist, said, gave me some really good tools and said, your parents, they did the best that they could with what they had. And that really resonated with me and stuck with me. And it's something that I say almost at least once a week they're doing the best they can with what they have. I say that to clients. I say that to myself when somebody offends me, and it's like, well, and everybody is at a different level, and everybody has a different perspective, and everybody has a different toolkit, and some people have an empty toolbox. And so what that does for me is just allows me to have nothing but compassion for people instead of resentment. It's like, wow, they're really operating from a very hurt place, or wow, they have a lot of work that needs to be done, but they're not even aware. And so when I have those ahas and when I see that very clearly, compassion is the name of the game. That's what happens for me. And so that clears up my energy. It releases me of any kind of attachment that I have to them. And then I can bless them. If I'm feeling generous, I can just say, bless them where they are. Bless them where they are, and it's really not my business what their path is and when they're going to get their lessons. And if they ever get their lessons, it's just not my business. So I can, and I have learned to do this through the years, learn to detach kind of. And what I see too, I have this little visual that I do. I remember when I became a Reiki master, my Reiki teacher talked about cutting cords, and that just never resonated with me. I didn't like cutting cords. It felt like violence. Still feels like violence. And plus two, the people that I do have a connection with, I believe are put in my life for a reason, and we are each other's teachers and and students and mentors and all of that. And so I don't want to cut them out, but I also don't want to give them my power. So how I see this is I have this retractable power cord, kind of like on my vacuum cleaner, where you can push the pedal down and then the cord will come back and go right back into its little place. That's how I see it. So if I see myself giving my power away, I'll hit the button to get my cord back. Bring that cord back. And then if I want to go plug it back in, that's my choice. But typically I don't. I definitely have a cord with my son. And sometimes I have to detach. And then, like, lately, I don't feel like I want to detach. I want to be around and be in his orbit. But that's not always the case. So you can pick and choose your battles on that, right? Okay, Kristen says, Brene Brown has this teaching where she says to assume that people are doing the best they can, even if they're not. It makes us feel better to think that they are. Yes, it sure does. And then Juliet says, I remember that difficult people are my teachers. Absolutely. Absolutely. So everything has, in my world, a reason, and I'm always curious about that. It's like, okay, why is that person in my life? What's the lesson? What's the message? What's the gift? Because sometimes the gifts are cool and great, and sometimes they're not, but they're always a gift and always some sort of a lesson, something that's going to evolve us or teach us something, even in creating boundaries for ourselves, knowing that, okay, that is not somebody that I want in my life. And so I can create a boundary around that, and I can pick and choose. So in my book, it's all designed to empower us, to our own alignment, to our own power, to creating and designing the life that we want to live, and not just by default, right? And that's what manifesting is all about. So other things, okay, so let me talk about the antidote to resentments is obviously forgiveness. And I love the idea of having a short memory and just kind of getting into the mindset or the habit of just letting things go quickly. Because remember that old saying that when we're trying to, we're pissed off at somebody and we're throwing daggers in our mind their way, we're only hurting ourselves. So it's like that whole poison analogy, one of you can remember that and write it in the chat box. So we think that we're giving them poison, but we're actually the ones drinking the poison. So forgiveness, and anything that we can do to help ourselves shimmy out of that energy is going to be beneficial. Mantras, meditations, guided meditations. I used to, I studied and I practiced, but I don't anymore, that Hawaiian tradition of Ho'oponopono. Um, it's, getting into, it's just mantras. I love you, I forgive you, please forgive me, thank you, something to that effect. So use whatever works. And I know that moving this day forward, if you're not already in the mindset, you're going to be quick to notice when a resentment is starting to bubble up, and you're going to be able to heal it or quiet it, put it to bed, put it to rest. A lot of times, when I'm feeling a resentment bubble up, I know it comes from my ego. I feel my solar plexus flaring, like, oh yeah? Huh. Well, let me tell you, So it's all ego. And then I call my ego, I just pat myself on the shoulder and I say, okay, Charles, is what I call it. Just put that to bed. Just put that to nap, because it's not serving right now. So you'll come up with your own little tools and your games that you play with yourself to relieve yourself of those resentments. Also, you can do energy healing work. I find that to be tremendously helpful. Just being in the mindset or the awareness that you're healing and intending to clarify yourself, it's already happening. So when I had my healing studio and people would come in for Reiki sessions, I knew that by the time they got on my table, they were probably already 80 to 90% cleared. You know why? Because they picked up the phone, they called to make the appointment, they set the intention for their own healing, they drove themselves there, they paid money, so they invested in it, and now they're on the table. So they are compliant with the healing process. They are in agreement with the healing process. And so my effort, the last 10% was on the table, right? And so I just found that to be pretty amazing. And I always say all healing is self-healing. So might want to look into that for yourself and learn how to heal yourself. That's another big thing that I teach. Love it. Let's see. Let's talk about the things that block us here. So we got resentments, other people's energy. Other people's energy is a big one for us, the empaths, because we soak up other people's energy quite a bit. And so say, for instance, you're wanting to manifest something and your spouse or someone close to you is all rolling their eyes and going, what is that nonsense? You can't help but take that in, and that could be blocking, because we respect that person, we have a connection with that person, right? So other people's energy can be a blockage and a deterrent. And again, it's just about our awareness. So we can say, thank you for your opinion, thank you for your opinion, and then move on. It's not mine. Push it back. It's like return to sender. Delete, delete, delete. I have all these kinds of different little things that I do. These, I call them my tools. But one of them is that I see a big delete button in my head and I just push it. Pull my energy cord back, push the button. And so I have these quick fix little hacks to do to get me to switch my mindset really fast, to change my energy really fast. Because I don't want to be in that negativity for too long. It's not comfortable for me. I don't like it. If I don't feel clear, I'm not feeling good. So I really, really enjoy clarity. Of course, limiting beliefs. We talked about that on day one, cleaning up those limiting beliefs. And so today we're going to really get into, making sure that you guys are cleaned up on that. And if you have any continued thoughts or limiting beliefs or beliefs that you don't know if they're blocking you or not, we're going to clear them up for you. Okay. Having all those tons of rules for yourself on how things are supposed to come. We talked about that. That's a big blockage. So time being one of the most common ones, that successful will come to me when I put in my time or have to pay my dues. And it's like, well, do you really? Do you really? You can put that limitation on yourself? I don't, I'm not anymore. So, because I think that we can manifest things pretty instantly, and there might be some steps that we have to take, but those aren't the rules that we put on ourselves. So lifting the limitations and the rules that you have about things. Attachments, of course, having those attachments to people, places, situations, the past. Oh my gosh. I see a lot of attachments to the past and past situations that have caused us pain and even trauma. So we can, if there's something in there that strikes a nerve, if you feel safe enough to bring it up today, we can put some healing on that and finally clear that up. Having attachment to the house, we talked a lot about that. The house are the domain of the universe. Let that infinite wisdom figure that stuff out, right? I'm just the receiver. I just get to get the answers. That's kind of cool. And then addictions and habits can also be a blockage. And the reason they are a blockage is because typically with addictions and bad habits comes shame and guilt. So feelings of shame and guilt or any of those negative emotions are going to block you from your blessings because there's a energy of unworthiness happening, right? So we all experience these things from time to time. A lot of us have done a lot of work to rid ourselves of that, or to forgive ourselves and to forgive the situations. So this isn't a judgment. This isn't a beratement. This is life. This is real life. This stuff happens. My thing is that I think it's vitally important that we do heal it, that we do clear it up, that we do acknowledge these things so that we can pack them away and lighten our own load and become that clear channel so that we can manifest like bosses. I mean, why not? Would you rather, continue to carry around excess baggage that weighs you down and kills your spirit? Or would you rather put those down, become a clear channel so you can manifest anything, including healing in your body, right? So this stuff can get pretty deep. We only have 5 days in this challenge, but if anything comes up for you today, we'll do a healing over it. And I guess now is a good time to share that in a week, I'm going to open up the doors to continue this process in group coaching and one-on-one coaching. So if you do one-on-one coaching with me or the group coaching, we're gonna go really deep with this stuff and get some real healing done so that we can just continue mastering the whole manifestation process and become really, really good at it and really clear in our lives and in our brains and in our hearts. Okay, so yes, Eileen likes my delete button. Me too. Juliet says, I need to work on a block that I have that tells me it's wrong to care about money, that it's shallow or greedy. Oh man, that's perfect. Okay. And then Kristen says, I am so open to healing from an unstable work environment in which I was dependent financially on an unstable situation. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to do some healing work on these things. I love it. All right. Let's just jump into that. Let's do it. Okay. So I hope this is all making sense to you because it feels like there's multiple topics happening under the umbrella of manifestation because there are. It's it's more there are many moving parts in manifesting. And to me, it's there's physical and then there's the spiritual. And I think and the mental. And I think the teaching that has been out there about manifesting has kind of overlooked the obvious to me, the spiritual component, the forgiveness, the healing, the clear channel, all of those things that are very, very personal. So, they talk a lot about visualizing and acting as if and all that fun stuff. And that's cool, that's part of it. But man, if you're all clogged up, you can't receive. And so that's a big missing piece for me. Um, and so that's the name of this whole entire project is, so I'm a sneaky coach. I'm a sneaky coach. So I get you in and I tell you you're going to manifest money. And then guess what? You get to heal and you get to have a tremendous level of self-awareness. But could I sell that? Could I say, hey, why don't you join me in this 5 days of healing your blockages? You'd be like, I don't have any until until you get in here, right? So how about we manifest some money, and then as we're manifesting a little side money and extra income, we have these tremendous benefits of self-awareness, clarity, healing, uh, and all these tools that we are picking up along the way. So I I'm not sorry. You're welcome. Sorry, that's a little snarky, but all right. So let's do this. Let's get into a healing mode. And a little background about healing. We're all healers, especially the empaths. We all have the ability to call in the healing energies, frequencies, whatever you want to call them. I think that we're swimming in them, and it's kind of easy. But when two or more are gathered, woo, there's magic. So there are a few of us in the room today. So what we're going to do is we're going to take Juliet first. So Juliet is going to be our client, our target, our person, whatever you like to call her. Juliet, she needs work on a block that tells her that it's wrong to care about money, that it's shallow or greedy. So if you could take the image of Juliet or a placeholder of her in your mind, in your heart. So I'm going to put her in my heart, and then I'm going to see her in my mind. And collectively, we are going to just send her lots of healing. And then you're definitely a part of this process, Juliet. You're the receiver of this energy, okay? So be open, be receptive, and maybe you can even just stand with or sit with a very open stance to receive, right? And then the rest of us are going to be sending the healing energy, and I like to imagine her in like this bubble. You can see her however you see her in your mind's eye. And then we're just going to hold her in a place of healing, especially with regard to her money blockage. So let's focus on her root chakra, and you can see that red energy at the base of her spine. Are you feeling this, Juliet? So focus on the base of your spine. See your root chakra as a red energy glowing. I can actually see it for you. It's glowing around and going out. It's like a mist with you. So we're going to focus on that, and we're going to just affirm that money is energy. The exchange of money is fun. Creating money, allowing money gives freedom and choice. Gives freedom and choice. It is safe, it is good to desire money. Because money is energy that gives us freedom and choices, and comfort, and pleasure, and fun. So there's nothing greedy, there's nothing shallow about wanting money. It is natural for us to want it because it's a necessary component in our human game called life, right? So money gives us freedom, choices, pleasure, and guess what, Juliet? You get to vote with your dollars and spend them where you want to put that energy and growth and love. So now we can see money as an exchange of love. Loving to tip your waiter, your server, knowing that all of that energy is benefiting others as we spend it. It's benefiting ourselves as we receive it. So feel that. Soothe that red energy. Let's bring it in because it's way out there. Let's bring it in and know that you're safe, you're rooted, you're grounded. It's all good. It's all balanced. Money is that human thing that is necessary. And we can transmute it to mean a more spiritual exchange. All right, so take that, receive that, everybody send that, and then we can go ahead and release ourselves from Juliet's energy. I like to just kind of wipe my hands. Okay, there you go. There you go, Juliet. Woof. Fluff her up a little bit. And then come back and then be right here. Right here, right now. All right. So, Juliet, how do you feel? Are you good? And anybody else, did you experience anything while you were participating in that group healing process? Yes, Juliet says, thank you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Did the rest of you feel as though you were a part of the solution and part of the healing process and contributing to that? Because you were. Good stuff. I mean, this is just good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and clear our energy. Just a couple deep breaths. Whew. And as we facilitate healing for others, we are facilitating healing for ourselves. What goes around comes around, right? So now we get to be blessed as well. Woo, and send those blessings out into your neighborhood. Woo, push them out into your city. There we go. Financial abundance for all y'all. Yes. All right. So being clear, being present. Let's go ahead and switch our attention. I'm going to read a couple of things first. Juliet says, I love thinking of money as love energy. Yes, it is love energy. I love spending money. I love it. I love tipping. I love tipping big. When I'm in appreciation, when somebody just is going above and beyond, I love it. It's like I can't go up there and give him a hug and a kiss, but I can give him some cash to show my love and appreciation. It's so cool. Same with giving to my son. It's like, yeah, I really want to solve all your problems, and I can't, but I can give you a sandwich, It's an expression of love. We can give that money away. It's an expression of love. So Debbie says, I felt energy being sent, but also felt like I was receiving also. Yes, that's so awesome. And Eileen says, warm heart, lots of dancing light. Woo, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Now you guys know why I love my work, because the benefits just are amazing and abundant. All right, let's shift gears and let's put Kristen with your with your permission, Kristen, of course. Give me a thumbs up. We want to put Kristen. I'm going to wait to hear if this is okay first. Didn't occur to me to ask you, Juliet. Sorry. It's occurring to ask Kristen. And Kristen, is it okay? Yes, please, she says. Yes, okay. Okay, so Kristen, I'm going to read your original. I don't want to put words in your mouth. So, I am so open to healing from an unstable work environment in which I was dependent financially on an unstable situation. Yes. So we're going to do some healing on that unstable situation and getting you back into a more stable place. Okay. And then we're going to do a twofer for Kristen. We're going to manifest. We're going to group manifest her new job. We're going to see it. We're going to bring it. We're going to open up the curtain of her vortex because it's already in there. And so we're going to help her receive it faster, with more ease and grace. So we are a collective, powerful bunch. Don't underestimate yourself. All right. And Kristen, you're part of this too. Okay, so Kristen, let's imagine Kristen on, oh, I don't know. Let's see her on a stage. Oh, here's how I see her. I see her on a rock, a flat rock, with the ocean behind her. Maybe because I know that you live in Monterey, but I see you in Pacific Grove. I see you out by Lover's Point. And there's a beautiful ocean behind you. So you guys can visualize whatever you like, but if you're visual and you want to share mine, go for it. So I see her standing there, looking out over the ocean and contemplating her next moves. All right, so can everybody get a picture of her in there or in your bubble or on your whiteboard, however you want to feel her energy and see her. All right. And so I see her standing, feet firm on the ground, fortifying her own root chakra, because I'm going into the root chakra and it's like, okay, she's fortifying it. She's really working on it herself. And we're going to give her an extra boost on that. And then we're also going to work on her heart chakra. All right, so extra boost on the root chakra. Let's focus and see that red energy around the base of her spine. And soothe it. However you soothe, you can take the energy and you can smooth it out with your hands. Literally. You can fluff it. You can just send love to that place and affirm stability. Financial stability is yours, Kristen. The perfect, ideal next work situation is yours, Kristen. It's waiting for you. Being satisfied in your work, loving your work. You already love your work. But loving the place that you go to work, really enjoying that. And let's go up to some of the sacral chakra, the next one up, the orange. And really putting some pleasure around the work situation. And oh, these people are amazing and fun, and I love coming here every day. So working on the root simultaneously with that sacral, smoothing it out, balancing it, plucking any weeds of fear. We'll take those out. We'll take those out and just replace it with stability, knowing the universe has your back, knowing that we completely support you and have your back. And we know collectively that you're good, you're fine. The next job is just right around the corner. So let's move up to Kristen's heart space. You can imagine her heart space however you like, a red heart or that green energy that is taught with the chakras. So I like to see it as green because to me the red is always root. So green energy around that heart or just that heart, or pink, and you can just see it pulsating. So let's put our love energy on that. And our hands are literally, the extension of our heart, our arms. So we can just take our own heart energy through our arms and out our hands. Whew. And it's almost like doing that paddle thing that they do in the hospital. And we're just putting lots of love energy on her heart to soothe her heart, to clear her heart of resentment, of fear, of feeling unsafe at her workplace, unstable, disrespected, all of those things that we know have hurt her heart. And we're just going to wash that away, and just continue to pump love, forgiveness, kindness, empathy, self-love, all restoring that heart space, that energy around her heart. Breathe that in, release that through your breath. Breathing in love and breathing out healing energy. All right. And I can actually see this really amazing kind of energy going through your entire body, Kristen, going up your spinal cord, like the Kundalini kind of energy, just going whoo, whoo. So you're getting a lot of energy here, a lot of healing, a lot of love, a lot of light, allowing you to be who you came here to be without all this silly nonsense. Just washing that away. Kindergarten is over, right? All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and release ourselves from Kristen's energy and come back to ourselves in our own energy. Whoop. Bring our energy back, and then take some of that residual loving energy that you're surrounded with right now and push it out to your neighborhood, to your neighbors, to your city, however far you can get it. Send it to the park, where I sense my son is at the park right now. Send it over there. Send it to the hospital, Dana's husband. Let's just send it everywhere, right? All right. So, Kristen says, OMG, amazing, thank you. Awesome. She says, that was fantastic. I really received that. Thank you all so very much from my heart. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is part of the giving process. So we can do this anytime, guys. I didn't really intend to go too much into healing today, but it's so cool that we are. So when you can do this at any time, any moment, one of the things that I do, like especially when I hear an ambulance, I will just do an instant blast of love energy to the first responders and to the person in need, right? It's like, okay, and it doesn't have to be a big thought out process. We don't have to sit and meditate. We can just blast it. I'll call it, remember the Care Bears in the Care Bear stare? It's like that. We're just going to beam or blast. I like to blast that love healing energy. And you can do the symbol with your hands, but it's not necessary. You can just do it mentally as well, or from the heart. You get to choose. You can just say healing. Let healing happen now. I do this like when I'm at the grocery store or in the library or anywhere that needs it. I'm just like this first responder energetically all the time. It's like my antenna just are way up. I'll hear a child cry, for example, and I will just send some loving healing energy to that child and to the parent, because they're stressed out too, and actually a lot of times the child is just responding to the energy of the parent. So we can just send that kind of loving, healing energy out anytime. Anytime. You can do the traditional kind of energy work where you're on a table. You can beam it fast. It's just a split second, right? So when you learn this stuff, wow, you know, that's a total game changer. All right. Good, good, good. All right, guys. So, yes, these are the things that opens up our channels, opens up our hearts so that we can receive, right? So it's really necessary for us to be excavating, pulling weeds, and before you know it, you know, your garden is pretty manicured. Doesn't really need a whole lot of work. I know that my garden when I was in my 20s was a huge jungle. It was a jungle. I had to do so much work, right? But I wanted to. I wanted to be better. I knew that I knew myself. I knew that there was something inside of me that was amazing and brilliant, and she wanted to come out. And nobody told me about that when I was a kid, but I just knew that there's so much more to this life than being sad, depressed, um, just that small kind of stuff, being abused, all that stuff. It's like that's just noise. No, that's not what I'm going to do. And I'm going to really work on cleaning that stuff up. I just was compelled to. And I've learned so much. And so it is an honor to share this information with you all so that you can also live in that full version of your holy spiritual self. You know, you can set your soul free, basically. All right. Well, we talked about a lot of things that can block us and how, or things that we can do to open up our channels. I think you all have a pretty good idea of the different things. I will go ahead and share some meditations, some mantras in the Facebook group later today that you can try as well. Other tools, other resources. You know, there's music, the sound bath stuff. There's so many different things that we can do to raise our vibration and to release the stuff that no longer serves us, the excess baggage. So we'll be sharing a lot of those things later in the group that you are so welcome to try and see what works best for you. And that is why I had you do the Claire quiz yesterday, in fact, because some people are not auditory and a guided meditation is kind of like useless to them. They're not, you know, it's not as effective. And then other people are very visual. And so mantras or words are going to probably be more beneficial to them, right? So that's why I had you do that test so that you can understand how you best receive your information. And then, of course, too, I used to be a school teacher. It's all about learning styles and how we absorb and what our most dominant senses are, you know, that we like to work with. So I'm going to put all the sensory stuff out there, pick and choose, and then learn about yourself. It's like, I can't even hear that. I can't even listen to that. I'm so distracted, you know, and then notice that. So then when you're in other situations that you know that you're signing up for a class, it's all about guided meditations, you're going to be like, that's not for me. But I'll go to the one that's the visual one, right? So again, this is all about self-awareness. Okay, we're already on the hour. Are you kidding me? That went by real fast. So I want to do that 5 levels of gratitude assessment. I'll do this like in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but I think it's just so worth sharing. Okay, and then feel free to leave your comments or your questions as they come up. Does anybody else need anything that they want to get healing on? Or are you feeling pretty good right now? Yeah, chime in, let me know. So let's talk about one of the biggest channel openers is gratitude. I already said that when you're walking in gratitude, you are in 100% state of receptivity. Receptivity is awesome. You're giving and receiving at kind of like the same time. It's like you're sending out love because gratitude is love, but and then you're receiving it and you see it. It's like your RAS just goes nuts. It's like, what are all the things that I could be grateful for? And then you start to see all of the stuff that you could be grateful for, and then your energy just goes through the roof, and then you're a manifesting machine, as a result of it. So it's all related. I hope you're connecting all the dots here with all the bits and parts and pieces that I'm sharing with you. So let's talk about the 5 levels of gratitude. This is from James Wedmore. He is my business coach and mentor. Amazing person. Everything he does is with a spiritual base. So we speak the same language, and that's why I chose him to be my business coach, because man, he gets the laws and he gets all this stuff. So he has written the 5 levels of gratitude as an assessment. And so I'm going to share this with you, and then you can assess where you're at on the grid. So it goes from 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. So the first level is that you're just not grateful. You feel entitled and critical. You're unhappy all the time, offended with just about everything. I know that's not you guys, because you wouldn't be here if that was, but I can guarantee people that are at a level 1 gratitude, right? And so we can just bless them all day long and then have good boundaries around them. The second level is you have certain things you're grateful for, or you have certain people that you're grateful for. So you have it pretty much bundled. Oh yeah, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that and that. And that's about it. Number 3, you appreciate the good, and you actually expect more of it. And you also appreciate the good stuff that's on its way. So you have a bigger awareness about all the stuff that is coming. So maybe it's not manifested yet, but you are in appreciation for it because you know it will be. Like Kristen is in appreciation for her new job. She knows it's here. She knows it. I know it. You guys know it. So we can have an appreciation for the things that we can't yet see. And then level 4 on the gratitude is we're grateful for the bad stuff and the problems that we might be experiencing in our lives. Because we know that, well, like I said earlier, maybe there's a lesson in here for me. Maybe there's something at the end of this. Maybe this is a stepping stone to get me to the higher place. So we don't just slam it down. We can be grateful for the problems and the negative stuff in our lives, knowing that they're temporary as well. And then level 5 gratitude is that you just don't even see problems anymore. You choose to see everything happening for you and not against you. And so you're grateful for all of it. You know that no matter what, you just don't even see problems. So I'm not there because I see a problem. I see a big problem. So I guess I'm at a level 4 if I'm completely honest. But I can be at a level 5 with a lot of other things, but not this one thing with my son, because I see a problem. And until I don't see a problem there, I guess I'm going to be, vacillating between 4 and 5. I know that there's a gift there for him and for us. But I don't not see it as a problem. So level 5 is you just no longer see problems. You choose to see everything happening for you, not against you or to you. I get that. I do believe that there's a conspiracy happening for all of us, and the universe is always conspiring for our wellness and for the good stuff. I am typically in a 5, but this one challenge has pushed me back to a 4. I own that. So maybe you guys can send me some energy and love around the acceptance of this whole situation and try to see it as not a problem. But I'm not there right now. So, alrighty. That was fantastic. Got it. Debbie, can we do a quick health healing? Yes. I'd love a healing around my finances. Yes. Deservedness, allowing the income feels like too much sometimes. Ridiculous, I know. So I'm the little kid at the dam. Control. All right, I know a large check is coming. There's just some kind of holdup. Well, let that go, Magnet. There doesn't have to be a holdup. I'm a 3-4, mostly 4. Yeah, there we go. I love your honesty. Cool. I'd love to claim that I'm a 5. Sometimes I am. All right, so let's hold. Oh, say so. Debbie wants to do health. Magnet around finances. And then Eileen, worthiness, deservedness. Okay. All right. So Debbie, let's put Debbie in. Let's put Debbie in our healing room. So now I have a healing room, guys, with you. So our healing room together. We're all in the healing room. And we're all in a circle. I can see this in my mind's eye. And then we have Debbie right in the middle. Okay? So it's like a little witch coven. This is fun. So we're all going to extend our hands and allow that heart, love, energy flow through our arms, through our hands. And from the universe, the frequencies of healing, love, and light through our crown chakras and out our hands. And then just all the rest of it. Woof. So we're channels of this. We're focused energy. And we see Debbie in the middle of the circle. And we're going from top, from her crown. And we are going to send love and healing over her body. And we're scanning it. We're just scanning and putting love energy through her entire body. So starting at the crown, going around the head, relieving the tension in the neck and the shoulders, through the arms, just loving and releasing that energy that is heavy, that doesn't serve. And then over the front of her body and releasing any bottled up energy inside her tissues that no longer serve, just clearing it away. We're just so you can blow and you can clear however you do it. So I see there's some messy energy in there. So we're just going to clear it away. Clear it. It's like sweeping it out. And then we're going to smooth it back down and infuse it with that love healing energy. Infuse it with the love healing energy. There we go. There we go. And then around the hips, same thing. We're going to smooth that out. Feeling a little tension in there. So we're going to smooth out those hips, those joints. And then we're going to sweep down her legs, sweep down, give her some extra love on her feet, and let them be balanced. And then just a shower down the chakras, just cleaning it, and then sweep, and then shower, and then sweep, and then shower. And now we're going to fluff her up. I don't know what else to say, but that's how I feel it. It's like, okay, kind of like tucking somebody in bed. I'm going to fluff her up now. And it's like all soft, all comfy, all good, all healed. Oh, lots of love there. Lots of loving energy. Okay. All right, Debbie. We send her love, and then she leaves the circle, and we come back into our bodies. All right. And then we're going to let me know, Debbie, how you feel. Let me know how all of you feel. And then Magnet, here we are. We are going to actually do this collectively for everybody. And we're going to put Magnet in the middle, though. But this is for all of us, because I know that all of us have all of us need or could use, we don't necessarily need it, but we can all use healing around our finances, all right, and around our beliefs around them. So Magnet in the middle. This time we're going to hold hands because this one's for all of us. And magnet in the middle. And we're focusing our energy and attention to her. All right. Holding hands. And we can bless her finances. I'm going to shine some light on you right now. So I'm holding hands and I'm shining some light from my heart to your root chakra. Feeling balanced in your root chakra, knowing that there's enough, that we live in abundance, there's more than enough, there's no competition. Finances, money is just energy. All right, and so we're relieving and releasing energetic blocks in the root chakra for magnet and for all of us. Just releasing it, releasing the blockages so that we can allow financial prosperity to come to us, that we are clear and open channels to prosperity, to financial abundance. It's fun, it's good, it's right, it's amazing. We get to vote with our dollars. We get to gift people. We get to gift ourselves because we're so worthy. We're trust fund babies of the universe. The universe wants us, only wants to give to us everything that we desire. We are so blessed. Oh my gosh. All right, magnet. So let's release our hands, high fives, and then send magnet an extra little energy push there in her heart and in her root. Pat those in there. There we go. All right, girl. Oh, and around your mind, I feel. Okay, so let's address her crown chakra now that I'm really focused on her, and let's clean up. Let's weed out those limiting beliefs that she has in there that don't serve her anymore. It's old news. It's crusty. We're just going to clean it off. We're just going to wipe that out. And then we're going to infuse her crown chakra with the truth. We're going to infuse her crown chakra with loving energy and open up that portal to receive the truth of finances, the truth from on high. We're going to let that download, and you're going to soak in that today, and you're going to see instances and realize and have the aha moments about the truth about finances and money and what that means. Probably the rest of you as well. Good. Debbie says she feels very relaxed. And then Eileen, let's get you in the circle. Okay, let's go back into the circle. And let's put Eileen in the middle. And for Eileen, I don't know why, but I want you to sit on a chair. So sit on a chair in the circle so we can see her sitting. And we're all going to be around her. And some of us are going to be touching her, like putting our hand on her shoulders, on her back, on her chest, her heart. Not too close to her throat. That's uncomfortable. So we're going to put our hands on her. And those of you who are not comfortable with that, you can just hold your hands up. Again, extending that heart energy, that healing energy that is so natural for us, empaths. We are just going to beam it on Eileen, knowing that she is a holy child of God, of the universe, and that she is so worthy. And that little girl inside of her is getting a healing right now. So we can see her and we can see her little girl. And she's embracing her little girl. And she's telling her, little Eileen, I got this. We have help. We have support. We have an abundance of help, love, and support. There is no end to it. And we are so receptive and so worthy of receiving every good that comes our way, including finances, including love, including healing. that we can heal the past trauma. We can observe it and know that it got us here, so it served us in some degrees. However, it doesn't feel like it's serving us anymore. So let's go ahead and let it go. And so I can see Eileen and her little girl with this red balloon, and that red balloon is full of her past pain, and together they're going to just release it and let it go. And now we take our hands back and off of Eileen, and we just beam our love and healing to both her and her inner child, and letting them integrate as one, integrating as one. So Eileen, you're back together. All right. And we'll just shower her with love and healing. Okay. And now go ahead and release yourself from Eileen's energy, however that works for you. I like to breathe in my own energy, kind of zip up my own energy again, and then that residual energy that's still around you, send it out to the people who need it. Just send it. It's like knowing that we create an abundance of it. Okay. So, good stuff, guys. Very good stuff. Okay. Let's go ahead and call it a day. Tomorrow, I would love to do questions and answers. I would love to do some coaching with you all. So come with your questions. Come with all the stuff that maybe has come up for you. Continue your process of clearing. Did anybody clear out a closet or a cluttered situation in your house yesterday? Any of that go on? So are you starting to put all of the pieces, the moving parts of all this stuff together and understand how one thing affects the other, how it affects the other, and that it's all one big machine? This is a machine. And now we are manifesting machines, and we can see the cogs very clearly, and we can help clean them up, clear them out, whatever we need to do to become that marvelous manifester, the powerhouse that we are and that we came here to be. But we had some stuff happen growing up and life experiences, and so it's really up to us to bring that stuff up so we can clear it out, so we can love it and bless it and change up our energy, our own energy, and the energy around us. So this is us taking responsibility for our lives, owning it, and then just really rocking our lives and designing our lives how we want them to be as much as we possibly can, right? I'm learning a lot of humility with this situation with my son, because now I'm saying as much as we can. Whereas I would have just said all of it, but there's some things out of our control, and it's typically the people out, that we're attached to. So this journey is an inner journey. It's magical. It's amazing. Know your power, know your worth, really do some self-kindness today. That's going to be your homework. Some self-kindness. Give to yourself. Do something super nurturing, super cool, loving on your self, your inner child, your high self, all of it. Okay? So that's going to be your homework. Eileen says, ooh, deep, much gratitude to all. Yes. And Debbie says, cleaned up paperwork I've been putting off. Yay. Good. So good that you can see how all of this is connected, and you're just going to see everything a little bit differently from this day moving forward, and how you have so much power over so much stuff. It just makes life exciting and playful and fun. So I'll see you in the Facebook group with those modalities and different techniques that you can try on. and see what works for you. And then I will definitely see you back here tomorrow morning, day 5, and we'll do more coaching and answer your questions about manifesting and about anything else that's going on with you as this 5 days brought things up. Okay? And Eileen says, nope, actually put it off to today for a variety of excuses. So now there's today. Good for you, Eileen. I love the honesty in this group. This is great. I put it off yesterday too. So I got back from the hotel yesterday, and it's like, when you're all unpacking, it's just messy. But I didn't want to. I'll do it today. And I will also do the quiz for you, and I'll check out the other quiz, make sure it's working. So let me know how things are going for you today in the Facebook group. I'll see you guys a little later. All right. Peace and blessings. Thank you. That felt great.